Hello everyone, literally me here. I haven't made a video in probably since high school, and I was bored today because of all this coronavirus stuff going around, and it is getting kind of wild, kind of freaky, and so I decided just to make a video because I was bored. And I thought that I should show off something that I recently just started working on again. But I started back in 2018, late summer of 2018. So we're going to look at that today. And I don't really have an order that I'm going to go in. It's going to be a lot of rambling, but I thought I should show this off. So let's get started. This entire part that I'm circling right now with my mouse going around is the first. That was the first main part that I made. But I recently, over the last 2 days, I started going here, and then you see this massive little rail thing here that goes into another part. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just start where it all started. I named this town. The name of the town came a lot later than the buildings that were in it. I named it Mystoria because I thought that sounded really epic and cool. And the first building that was in Mystoria, I like to call the original because it was the first. It is this building because one day I made a creative world since I was, again, bored. And I wanted to build a house, build a nice house, and just see what happens. And this is what I came up with. I like this house a lot. I like the roof of this house a lot. I want to keep doing that kind of style roof, but I haven't in a little bit. So I made this. None of these houses that I will be showing will be furnished because I didn't really care about doing that at the moment. I just wanted to make a house that was nice. So I made this one, and for some reason, well, not for some reason, just because I liked it, I made the palette birch planks and spruce because I just thought that was a really beautiful palette, and it contrasted really well. So that was the first building I made, and then I decided after that I should build these walkways around things so I could get to place just in case one day I wanted to release the map and people wanted to use it, even though it's in creative. You can do whatever you want. So I made these walkways, and I first made this one. I'm not exactly sure which way I went. I think I built the bridge. I built this bridge over here, and I made it go down, and then I made this bridge underneath here for other reasons, which I'll get to in just a second. But I want to go through the buildings that were originally on this main island. So this isn't a building, but it is an area. I wanted to make a little farm because I think every map should have a farm, at least. So I made this one. It's very basic. I think it looked really pretty, and it had a lot of lighting, so I thought it was a good farm. And then I'll go into one of the first main additions after I did the original. It's this building called the Mountain, because it was built inside of the side of a mountain. Inside of the side, yeah, that works. And so again, I wanted every building on this part to be the same color. So I again used the birch, spruce, and then stone brick, as you saw on the roof of the last one. And I also like the idea of this gray stained glass because it just blends really well with everything. So I made this one. It's pretty tall, but I might have other plans for it, but right now I do not. And again, I don't have any plans for furbishing it this second, but I might later on. And so we'll go over. Actually, you know what? We're not going to go over yet. Let's just get everything in this island first. This is my brewing house, which I made because I wanted a small hut. And I was thinking, what can I put right here? And then this brewing house was an idea. It's not an original idea, but I thought that I wanted to make this kind of like a city, so I thought it should have an enchanting / brewing station. Nothing's in the chest, but I wanted to make it look like this, and I chose purple because I thought purple looked cool. We'll keep going. Before I get to the wart farm, which is what this door directly leads to, here's the nether portal room, because if you're going to have enchanting, you're going to have another portal. So we'll keep going up. Again, use a stone brick. I like stone brick a lot. It looks very official. A lot of this isn't done, but it will be done later on. Sorry, weather. Here's my nether wart farm. It's kind of boring, but it's big, and that's what I wanted. It's right underneath the farm that you saw earlier. And so yeah, that's for the main island, except for one more building that's I'm just gonna gloss over. This is the lighthouse. I hate this building because I wanted to make something that just looked like a lighthouse, but I made this. It's barely walkable. Like if you go up into it, it takes forever, and you could just slip and then break your legs. So it doesn't even have a door. I should probably add a door soon, but I didn't. And that is for the first island. And then I built this bridge, double decker, and you see these rails, which I would get to on the second island. But let me go over this first building first. This building is called the landing. I don't know why I call it the landing. It just sounded cool. And there's also a place by where I used to live, which was called the landing. And I liked that name, so I kept it. And as you can see, I wanted to do a dock, bayside home, and so I went with this. I like the style of this a lot. I like the pier. The pier is bigger than the home, but I don't care. It's more of a deck, but I call it a pier. So I did that for the landing. Again, not furbish because I don't care. And then I wanted to do something different than what I did, and I like the look of modern, like a modern age. So this is called the New Era. This wasn't the next one afterwards, but it was one of them that were after the landing that I did on this island. The only problem with this is the living space, and this is too small. I'll show you what I want to do. That's really too small, and then you go up here, and there's this little thing, but then there's this gorgeous balcony, which you get a decent view of everything important, at least. I want to take this room, and I want to jet it out 5 blocks this way to make a balcony smaller, and so I might do that later, but not right now, just because I'm showing this to you guys. So I made that one pretty quickly. It was a little weird trying to make it because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to go for, but then I just said, F it, let's just make a modern building. And so afterwards I decided that you should be a fishing dock, so I made this one. And I don't think there's anything in these chests. No, but I did do this, and I like the pufferfish a lot, so. Oh, yeah, sorry. There's some memories that are just keep coming back. I posted these snapshots on Reddit because I was running out of ideas, and it's kind of weird to run out of ideas when you only have so little. But I was running out of ideas, and someone said make a fishing dock, and that guy's name was Smell of Oxygen. So thank you, Smell of Oxygen, because you gave me a really good idea, and so I made it. And so I made this fishing dock. I really like the fishing dock because it's big, but yet, I'm sorry, I'm losing train of thought because I'm tired. I wanted to make it because, first of all, Smell of Oxygen recommended it, and secondly, I just needed something that was more communal. So I made that. Speaking of communal, I made this room, which is called the Rail Yard. I'm going to rename it the Mystoria Rail Yard because of another reason, which we'll get to in a second. I made this because I wanted every building to be connected somehow. And so most buildings are connected. There is one I deleted because I found out the building was the landing, and I found out that it is quicker to walk to this building rather than ride the rail cart to go to this building. And so I built all these, and then this last one is to the other land, which I'll get to in a little bit. Please tell me it's not raining. It's not. Cool. This took a long time because I had to figure out how to make everything so it worked. And it didn't at first, but now it does. So, after a while, I kind of got bored with the birch and spruce theme. So I decided to go with oak instead. And so I made this little dividing pillar. Not like, yeah, pillar, whatever you want to call it. Because I wanted to use a different palette. And so I went with this palette, which was oak and cobblestone. And so I made this building. It's called Shifty Timber. Before I get to that, actually I'll do this in, give me a second. I did this one with carpeting, and I don't use stairs in all my buildings because either they're one story or they're just too small and too compact. So I made Shifty Timber with ladders, which I used ladders in I think one more building. But I made this building. It was like the last building I made in the town because I wanted a filler. I think it's cute, and it was simple to make, and it provided more space. It provided more filler for what I was trying to do. So I made Shifting Timber, and then I made this building called the Simple because, as you can see, it's a very simple design, but I like the way it looks. But I wanted to put carpeting in it, which is something that's different than most of the buildings, because I was too lazy and I didn't want to put carpet. So here's a little dock. Again, view is amazing from this house. And so that's the Simple, and then we'll go to this house. But first, I wanted to make a lot more more pathways to other buildings for the future. So I decided to build them all at first, and I'll show this in a second. But first, let's go to this building. It doesn't even have a name because I was getting lazy. I made this one. It's kind of small, but it's enough room for what you need. I cared about view a lot, so you can see everything of this side of Mystoria. And I like the idea that the foundation slouched all the way over to the ground floor over here. And then there's this little patio area. And so I made that. Give me 1 second. I made that, and then there's this building called the Next Edition, because I think, I'm going to correct myself if I'm wrong later on, but I think this was the first building I built in this edition of Mystoria. And that's why I named it that. And I think I had this entire railroad going that way, and I think that's why I made it here. Yeah, that is exactly why I made it here. So this was the next thing I made. There's no ladders or anything into it yet, but it is almost finished. I wanted something that looked like this, and I like the lantern idea that's up here. So, yeah. I love this building. And then I'll show the pathways off real quick. They're not finished, but this is for in case I want to build more out here. And I wanted to fill the space up. So I made these. I want to use the space over here that is like this mountain space that's snowed over. And I will probably do that later on, but not in the meantime. And so that is Mystoria. So afterwards, what do you do? Do you just stop there? I said no, and I wanted to do another edition. And that edition I like to call it Glengrove. And that name, again, like Mystoria, wasn't based off nothing. It was just a name I thought was cool. And so the first building I built in Glengrove was this building. It's pretty massive. And I think that's one thing I wanted Glengrove to focus on more. It was big buildings, like more high-end buildings. And so I made these, and the reason why I use trapdoors here and not there, because there's redstone blocks there. So I made this one, and I'll kind of gloss over the small ones, but I'll still show them. I'll get them out of the way. The first one I made that was smaller was this one. I was inspired off of like a witch's hut that's in the like the normal game. Small, but yet again, it holds everything. I made that one, and then I wanted another building that looked like it, but that was slightly different. So I made this building, and I like this one a lot. This one, you know, all it needs to be done, all it needs to be done to it is furnished, and then it's done. I like two-story homes a lot, so that's why I wanted to make this one two-story, not just one. And I like the idea of stilts for a floor, for like an upper floor, and you'll see that over here. So yeah, I wanted this one to look like that one, but just better. And then I decided, while I was building this back in 2018, I wanted the biggest building I could think of. So I made this building, which I don't even think I have a name for, but back when I first started playing Minecraft, and sorry, my throat's getting dry, 1 sec. That's better. Back when I started playing in 2012 in 9th grade, because now I'm a senior in college, I made a building like this in my original world of 1.4.7, just when redstone blocks were getting announced, and I liked this style of building, so I wanted to replicate it but make it double the size. So this one doesn't have any steps or anything, but as you can tell, it's a huge ass building, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'm probably going to make rooms in it, but I just haven't done that right now. So that's that building. So let's just keep going. That was almost all the buildings except this one. It's not really a building, it's just an area. This is Mel's chicken coop. My girlfriend's name is Melanie, and when I was first starting this world, she saw it, and I wanted her to have a building. And so I said, what block do you like most? And she loved this block, this terracotta block. So I made a building, a little chicken coop out of this. I think she might recommend chickens. Or I think I don't know. It was 2 years ago. So I made a chicken coop. I think it's really cute and I like it. So that was every building that I made in 2018. That's where I stopped. Then a couple days ago, specifically 2 days ago, I said to myself, what should I make? I want to make something different. I want this world to be more than what it was. So I went over here, and I found an open space, and I started building again. This building I like to call the Funk, because it looked funky to me, and I liked it. We'll go in. It's the same style as the other buildings, except with a little more modern-esque feel. It's the only building that, besides the brewing station, that has this little enchanting place, because I built this room and I immediately thought that has to be enchanting because it's 5x5. So we'll go up here. Enough room. It's a lot of glass. Sorry. Throat's getting dry. So I built this little patio area on top because I like the idea of double-decker. But I like the idea of a patio on top of the first floor. Balcony, I meant to say. And so I built this right here. And I built it with the mossy because I wanted to start using mossy more. Mossy cobblestone wall, that is. So I built that. And then we'll just go through this way. I just built this today. Or yesterday. No, it was yesterday. I built this little under mountain railway walkway. And I kept building onto this. And I built this building. Which I like the idea of corner buildings inside of mountains, and as you can see, I still wanted to build a big building, so I call this a view. It was built yesterday. By the way, today's day is the 16th, so if anyone watches this in the future, which I doubt they will, that's when this was made. So I made this. I wanted a large glass view, and I'm glad the way it turned out. It's just not furnished yet. And that's it for Glengrove. And then I decided that this space is going to run out at some point, so I should probably build something else. in different areas. So I made the Glengrove rail yard, which, as you saw before in the other rail yard, there was one called Glengrove, and this goes all the way back to the other rail yard, so it's massive. But then it goes to here, and this is the rail yard. But then there's one more. There's actually two more, but that one I'll get to in a second. This is another land I like to call Tropia Springs. This is going to be really quick because there's no buildings in it yet. But I did make a rail to it because I liked the sand aspect, so I wanted something springy. And so this is Tropia Springs, in existence since 2020. What's a goddamn. This is again, something tropical, something fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. If anyone has any video ideas or building ideas, I meant to say, please let me know. So we're gonna go to the last section, which I just started today, and this is Netherland Heights. And I wanted something more industrial, more city-like. And so I made this. I saw a building like this online. This is the Fulton, which existing since today, 2020. I wanted something more just brick, something more city-like, New York style. So I made this. I'm glad the way this turned out. It doesn't even have floors yet, but I just like the look of it. And I wanted the rail yard to be exactly like that. So this is the Netherland Heights rail yard, which existing since today. And this will house all the connections going from the different areas. And that is all I have complete for this. And that is essentially the map. I want to make a uniform name for this map, but I just don't know yet. And I'm going to keep working on this map, though, probably after I finish recording this. And I know this is long, and I rambled a lot, but you know what? I don't care. I enjoyed showing it to you guys, and even if 2 people watch this video, that's awesome. So, I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm not going to say stay tuned, because I'm not sure if I'll make another update, but maybe I will, because this one was out of the blue. And I hope all of you have a fantastic day. See you. Alright, bye.